Hey guys, it's Jaclyn. So today I wanted to film a one brand makeup tutorial all centered around Charlotte Tilbury products. Now if you guys know me, you know that Charlotte Tilbury is my favorite luxury makeup brand. Her stuff is like absolutely incredible. But the reason that I really wanted to do this was because I received this in the mail the other day. And this is the Dolce Vita palette, of course by Charlotte Tilbury. And it's an eyeshadow palette. And it just screams fall to me, and it's the most gorgeous thing ever. And I've just been way too obsessed with it recently. So I thought it was about time that I sit down and do a whole Charlotte Tilbury themed fall makeup tutorial. Charlotte Tilbury fall themed makeup tutorial. Did that make sense? You know what I'm trying to say. Anyways, let's hop into the tutorial. Okay, so we're gonna start off with the Wonderglow, and this is one of those kind of famous Charlotte Tilbury products just because you can mix it in with foundation or use it as a primer, but it basically like filters your face for you. It just makes everything look like so much better for some reason. There's like really fine little golden like shimmers almost in it, but it's not sparkly. But it's just the most gorgeous kind of primer, magical base ever. So I really like to focus this more on my cheeks and then down the center of my face. And I just normally use my fingers to apply that. Okay, so next up I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Foundation. And this one is in the shade 4, but it's slightly too pale for me. So I'm gonna mix a slightly darker shade in there as well. So with a buffing brush, I'm just gonna buff that all into my skin. Now what I really like about this Charlotte Tilbury foundation is that there's a bunch of skincare elements to it as well. So I feel less guilty about wearing the foundation. Because sometimes I'm like, oh, foundation probably isn't doing my skin any good and it's probably just causing it to break out more. But I feel a bit better about using this one, to be honest. So I totally went on like a Charlotte Tilbury makeup tutorial binge the other night. She has some tutorials that she posts on her channel here on YouTube, and they're so good. I just love listening to her talk about products. She has like the best personality ever. I was watching her videos for like a couple of hours the other day. I will warn you though, if you watch any of her videos, you're like instantly gonna want to get every single thing that she talks about, so you've been warned. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the Charlotte Tilbury Retoucher, and this is in the shade Medium 3. And this is really nice because it's kind of like in a convenient little pen, so you can just swipe it over blemishes or under your eyes. Is any product coming out? Oh, yep, there is. I always have this issue though whenever I use like twist ups like this. I like over twist it and then so much product ends up coming out. Oops. I'm gonna take this color up on my brow bone as well. Next, I'm just gonna go in and set my face with a bit of powder here. This is the Airbrush Flawless Finish in number 2 medium. And I'm just gonna use a little bit of powder like under my eyes and a little in my T-zone. I've been a bit more on the dry side lately, so don't wanna powder too much. I've really been obsessed with this powder recently. It's just so gorgeous. It's so like finely milled and it's so buttery. And the coverage is just enough, but not too much. So, so beautiful. Okay, next up, one of my all-time favorite Charlotte Tilbury products. This is the Filmstar Bronze. Oh, I got my finger in that. This is the Filmstar Bronze and Glow, and this is just the most beautiful like bronzer and sculpting color and highlighter. So I'm just gonna take that bronzer color on more of an angled brush, and I'm just gonna go along my cheekbones and a bit on my hairline. Do you see that just instantly adds a bit of definition? So, so lovely. And then while I have this palette out, I'm just gonna go in and highlight a little bit on the tops of my cheeks. Next up, one of my favorite blushes. This is the Cheek to Chic Swish and Pop Blusher in Ecstasy. And this is just the most gorgeous kind of corally color with more of like a petally true pink in the middle. And I'm just taking this product on like a nice and fluffy blush brush. I can never say that right, blush brush, that's what I'm trying to say. When I apply my blush, I like to kind of put it more on the outer part of the apple of my cheek and just kind of blend back. The next product I'm going to be using is more of a new discovery for me, and this is the Brow Lift in, what shade is this? Okay, there's no shade name on here, but I'm almost positive it's in the Brooke Shields color. It's so, so beautiful. I love the formula of this pencil though. It's not too soft and it's not too waxy. It's just a really nice, easy to use formula. So I'm just gonna kind of comb through my brows with a little spoolie end. And then I'm just gonna go in and lightly fill in my brows. Okay, so let's move on to eyes now. I've got the Charlotte Tilbury Eyes to Mesmerize Cream Shadow in the shade Bette. And this is kind of like a gold color, but it's not exactly like a true gold. It's more of like a deeper, bronzier gold. So I'm just gonna take that product on like a synthetic brush here, and I'm gonna pop a little bit of that all over my lid to kind of prime it, but I'm gonna kind of blend it out into my crease. So just lay the product down with the brush, and then taking like the fluffier synthetic side of that, I'm just gonna blend that out. And then taking whatever you have left over on your brush, I'm just gonna run that along the outer half of my lower lash line. Okay, next up is the exciting part. It's time to dive into this eyeshadow palette. So I'm gonna start by taking the lightest shade in the palette. It's kind of like more of an icy champagne-y kind of color. And I'm just gonna take that on a fluffy brush. More of like a fluffy shader brush, actually. And I'm just gonna put that all over the lid. I'm also gonna bring the color more into the inner corner. I'm gonna pop a little bit on the brow bone as well. Okay, so basically just put it all over your eye. That's what I'm getting at. Next, I'm gonna go in with the clean blending brush, and I'm gonna take more of the warm, reddy brown eyeshadow here. And I'm gonna pop a little bit of that on my brush. And I'm just gonna kind of define the crease in the outer V of my eye with that. So whenever you're using like a darker color like this, you just want to start with a little bit on your brush and use a very light hand, and then slowly build up. Because if you start with like a ton of product on your brush, it's just going to get so muddy and it's going to be so hard to blend. Then I'm just going to go in with a smaller kind of pencil brush, and again in that same red color, and I'm just going to drag that on the lower lash line as well. If you have lighter colored eyes, like especially blue eyes, these reddy warm browns make them pop so much. But the great thing about warm toned browns like this is that they really work good on like any color eye, whether it be brown, green eyes like me, or anything in between. And then just to finish off all the eyeshadow, I'm just gonna take this big fluffy blending brush and just go over all that. Okay, so that's it for this palette for now, but don't worry, at the end I'll show you like a way to kind of amp it up. But for now, that's gonna be it. We're gonna move on to a liner, and this is the classic eye powder pencil liner in the shade... Why are the shade names never on here? I think this is in the color like Sophie or Sophia. I think it's Sophia. It's the brown shade. So I'm not gonna do anything crazy. I'm just gonna line my upper lash line. And then I'm just gonna take a little angled brush and just kind of soften up that line. Okay, next we're gonna do some mascara. So I've got the full fat lashes here. So I'm just gonna curl my lashes and pop some of that on. It's so bizarre. On each of my eyes, I have one eyelash that is like completely facing like downwards. It's so weird. Okay, so next up we're gonna do lips, and this is one of my favorite new lip combos ever. So this is the Lip Cheat lip liner in Iconic Nude. And I'm just gonna line my lips with this. And then I'm just gonna kind of take my finger and gently smudge the liner in with my natural lip color, just so that way there's no like harsh lines or anything like that. Then the lipstick that I'm gonna be using is the Very Victoria lipstick, and this is Victoria Beckham's lipstick color. I absolutely love the formula of these lipsticks. They're so nice. Then again, just take your finger and kind of blot that color in. Then I'm just gonna go back into this highlight color from the Filmstar Bronze and Glow palette, and I'm just gonna highlight my Cupid's bow because I love doing that. Doing this, it just kind of instantly lifts the upper lip, and it makes it appear a lot fuller. Okay, so this is the finished look, but as Charlotte Tilbury always says, sometimes your makeup's gonna take you from the desk to the disco. So if you're planning on going out that night and you just wanna kind of glam up your makeup a bit more, what I like to do is go back into that palette, and I'm just gonna take the beautiful sparkly, like glittery color in the palette, and I'm just gonna rub my finger in there, and I'm actually just gonna start stamping it over my lid. Now this is actually how I wore my makeup in one of my most recent vlogs when I went to go meet Meghan Trainor. And actually when I met Meghan Trainor, she was like, what are you wearing on your eyes? She loved my eyeshadow, so she actually got her makeup artist to write down the name of this palette so that way she could get it. So this eyeshadow color is Meghan Trainor approved. But I know I said in that video I was gonna make a tutorial on this, so I know you guys were patiently waiting, so here it is. What I will say though with this color, it definitely does not work nearly as good with the brush. The brush just kind of gets the sparkles everywhere and it makes it kind of lose control of the product. So I would definitely recommend using your finger in this particular color down here. The one that kind of looks like cork, sparkly cork. Okay, so that is how I would glam up this eye look. Also what you could do, since this is more of a fall makeup tutorial, you could put on like a darker lip. I have this really gorgeous color from Charlotte. Let me grab it. Okay, I just went through like all my lipsticks, and of course it was like the last one that I grabbed. But this is Birkin Brown, and this is like a gorgeous kind of deep reddy brownie kind of color. And it's just like the most flattering fall color ever. I love wearing this in fall. So I think this color would actually look really nice with this makeup look. But for today, I don't want to get too intense on the lip and too intense on the eye. So I'm going to leave it with this lighter lip. But I did want to mention that Birkin Brown is like the perfect fall lip color. So that is the tutorial today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this fall-inspired makeup look. Let me know if you tried any of Charlotte's products, and if you have, let me know which ones you like, because I would love to hear it. So thanks guys so much for watching. I will see you guys very soon. Bye!